have some ex-military clients, and in the military we had a concept called ThreatCon, and ThreatCon was the threat condition. So how threatened are we right now in this location? And it goes, I don't remember if it's A, B, C, D, or whatever. Uh, but I use that and I said, well, when your brain's at a high threat con level, it's not going to rewire. And so, what can you do to help yourself come down into a lower threat con so that you can do some rewiring? And what can you do to help your partner come down into lower threat con level so they can do some rewiring too?
Okay. So what if somebody they have a request that really matters to them, and they're trying to figure out how do I make this request in a good way where I stand a chance at my partner taking it in and considering my perspective and my preferences here and making a change.
I think the best place to start is with warm acceptance. And so, can I offer you warm acceptance exactly the way you are? My favorite definition of the word My favorite definition of the word respect is to accept a person just as they are. And so, can I offer you warm acceptance just the way you are, and also ask you to change? And so, I'm not going to qualify you as a bad person. I'm not going to make it seem like your behavior is so extreme that it's ruining my life. I'm just going to start from the idea that I'm okay and I'm going to be okay, and I want you to change.
All right, so if you want to make a request from your partner and you want to set it up so that it could be a win-win and they wouldn't
Mhm.
have to give up their autonomy or sense of self to make a change that benefits you, how would you go about doing that?
I think the focus is on what is my emotional state when I make the request, and am I making a request from a place of cold rejection, or am I making it from warm acceptance? And warm acceptance means I have to go through the work of figuring out whether or not I'm going to be okay if you say no.
Mhm.
So if I approach you and I've already said in my mind that you have to say yes or I'm not going to be okay, I'm going to be putting a lot of pressure on you, and I'm going to be making it seem like my okayness depends on your response, which to you feels like control. And what it basically is, it's a kind of emotional control lever. And so you are going to be tempted to say no, even if you are open to yes, because you don't want your autonomy to be threatened that way. But I guess your question was how to not do that. So if I want to
Yeah.
not do that, I need to do the work of figuring out, uh, if you say no, am I going to be okay? Like I really need to figure that out for myself and do that work. Uh, because then I can present it to you with warm acceptance. So I can make this request and I'm prepared to accept a yes, and I'm also prepared to accept a no. And so there's not this emotional load on it because I'm not putting you in charge of my okayness.